So, hello there. This is the first episode of Master What You Already Have with Koka. I'm just kidding, I haven't come up with the right title yet. In this episode, we're dancing around Synthstrom Deluge synthesizer.
Deluge.
This episode is primarily for Deluge users.
Deluge.
I'll first share some thoughts and personal experience with Deluge.
Deluge.
And then I'll show you a little performance trick that I find very useful. If you want to skip my thoughts and see the trick, use a time tag in the description of this video. Now, all critical passages in the video are aimed at myself and myself only. I do not intend to criticize anyone who might have gone down the same road. But if you feel that some of your thoughts do resonate with some of my thoughts, please engage in the comment section below. I don't even remember when I got addicted to buying and trying new gear. Throughout the process of spending thousands on equipment, I've been telling myself that my goal was some perfect selection of devices that would make me unique, inspire me, and help me produce good music.
Perfect.
What is that?
Inspire.
I kind of know what that is.
Good music.
But then what is that? Don't get me wrong, I still love exploring gear. I think collecting and exploring gear is a brilliant form of entertainment. Sometimes I really struggle to draw a line between the process of exploring new technology and producing art. Often I need a polyphony of these processes to enter the flow state. At some point, I randomly stumbled upon Synthstrom Deluge and bought it right away. The moment I was done dialing in my first pattern, after having unboxed my Deluge, I was already thinking of what else to buy in addition to it. For the next several months, I turned into a gear merchant. I bought and sold one entirety of blinks and sparkles of the synthesizer world. Everything in between OP1 and OPZ. Also some analog stuff recommended by friends on YouTube. I rushed into looking for a device that would either solve hypothetical problems or provide more features, in addition to brilliant features of Deluge that I had never truly investigated and mastered.
I apologize for this little interruption. Please subscribe to Koka's channel now and join the pack. Become a part of Koka's journey in the kingdom of music technology.
Then, after several episodes of frustration and embarrassing waste of money, at some point I realized that I just wanted an additional synthesizer, and I did not need an additional synthesizer. I also realized that Deluge had a lot to offer. So, I went ahead and started buying MIDI controllers, hoping to find Deluge's best companion. I even built controllers. For example, this one. It has 5 light sensors and it allows you to control stuff with variable light. I tried using pocket torches, lamps and candles on stage, but honestly, it didn't make too much difference, neither for me nor for my audience. I kept returning to using golden knobs. Golden knobs are amazing. Again, speaking for myself here, I've been often obsessed more with how I performed rather than what I performed. And in the process, I learned a whole lot of stuff about various performance techniques. I'll be covering some of that in my other videos. But with time, I feel I care more and more about what I perform, what it says, and what is the meaning of what it says. Back to MIDI. During my MIDI controller research, I stumbled upon Faderfox UC44 controller, which is now out of production. It is a fully programmable MIDI controller. It has 16 faders, 8 encoders, 32 buttons. It's an amazing thing. Matthias, the Faderfox, sold me the very last unit, which I love, and I will keep it for the rest of my life. If it breaks, I will fix it. I might make another video about Faderfox controllers. I believe some of the units that are still in production could be Deluge's good companions. Have a look at Faderfox PC4, PC12, MX12, for example. I'll include links in the description below. They're expensive controllers, but they are German-made and German-thought. Build quality is great, but then I can't say I use my UC44 much. Deluge's brilliant control panel can satisfy my needs most of the time. And then, you know the rule, current chooses the path of least resistance, and so do I. Finally, I somehow convinced myself that I needed to control my Deluge in a more precise way. So I went ahead and spent hours on modifying XML files, analyzing bits and pieces of song codes, trying to edit recorded automation. I wanted to be able to create smooth logarithmic automation that I would be able to edit either programmatically or graphically, just as I would do with tools that I knew well, like Ableton Live, Logic Pro, Maximus PC Sound, etc. Stuff from the box. One sunny day, I came to a big realization. I realized that I was a fucking moron, and I procrastinated by buying equipment and fucking around instead of mastering a great piece of gear that I already had. So I started focusing on producing actual complete tracks with Deluge that I'll be premiering in my act to celebrate Beethoven's anniversary in Bonn in October 2020. I still use additional gear with Deluge. I sometimes use a powerful PC for projection and mechanical hammers for playing real-world objects. I sometimes use Zoya from Empress Effects to process my voice. I often use Faderfox UC44 as my interface and as my mixer in standalone mode. But all of it is on and off. Nothing has become inseparable from Deluge, except one seemingly insignificant thing. That thing became a part of my Deluge. Guess what it is? It's a stick. It's a silicon-coated flexible stick that I often use to operate golden knobs. I hacked it together with a metal rod that I harvested from a broken umbrella and silicon coat that I removed from a broken XLR cable. With this stick, I feel I can play golden knobs in a more musical way. When using golden knobs, it takes about 1.5 turns to get from minimum to maximum. And sometimes it's a bit uncomfortable to play continually with one hand. I've done it like this, I've done it like this, but it still never felt quite right. I use my stick as I would use a violin bow. I apply more pressure for faster turning and less pressure for more throw. Linearized motion in combination with pressure gives me more control, so I spend much more musical time with golden knobs. Let's try record something with a stick. This was a nice little whoop. You can maybe add in some randomness and make it so that it's different every time. You can comfortably record expressive automations. Save your song as a template and then maybe copy-paste your curves to different tracks. Alright, I follow multiple channels with brilliant content about synthesizer world. But I feel there is a little room left for a channel that places emphasis on performing and mastering synthesizer instruments. If you're into that, please subscribe to my channel. I'll work hard on making every new episode more and more informative, interesting, and inspiring. That's it for today. See you in the next video. And here's a giraffe.
Subscribe now, or as young people often say nowadays, smash that subscribe button.